तत्परं पर्याय विद्महे ज्ञानलिङ्गेश्वराय धीमहि तन्नो गुरुः प्रचोदयात्। ओम योग महर्षि डॉक्टर स्वामी गीतानंद गिरि गुरु महाराज की जय। Most of the time in our life, I think one of the things that is present, whether we like it or not, is stress. And stress has become omnipresent, in some ways omnipotent. And you know, omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient are qualities of God. So has stress become the modern God? Are people worshipping stress? As Swamiji would say, there are so many people who, if you take the stress away, they'll fall apart because the only thing holding them together is the stress. I'm reminded of a story with Swamiji. A story of Swamiji taking us to the Kumbh Mela in Haridwar, Rishikesh in the mid-1980s. I had joined school, so Swamiji and the ashram team, including at that time Swami Yogananda and Ma Uma Shakti and others, Ammaji, Renukaka, they had all gone earlier there and enjoying the Kumbh Mela, and then we spent 3 months up in Dehradun at the foothills of the Himalayas and went up on the Char Dham, Gangotri, Yamunotri, the origin of Ganga, the origin of Yamuna rivers, and Kedarnath and Badrinath that are sacred to Shiva and Vishnu. At that time, we were in Haridwar and we were staying at an ashram there. And as is the practice when you are living along the banks of the Ganga, the Ganges as it is known in Western circles, but Ma Ganga in Indian culture, it's Mother Ganga. All the rivers are given the prefix of mother. They give us life. And I remember that every day in the morning, one of the important rituals was you went out, you were on the bank of the Ganga anyway, the buildings, basically the water's running by your wall. Something like Venice in that way. The water's just along the wall. But very powerful. You get in the water, and if you haven't held on to the chains that are tied there or the support system that is there along the wall, you go in, you come up, you are like 20 feet away. The current used to be so fast, rapid flow of the water. And you go in and you are supposed to do 10 dips, dasa sna. Sna means to have a bath. And you take dasa 10 dips and you go down, you hold your... It is considered if you do the dasa sna, all your sins are washed away. All your sins get washed away. And so everybody is doing this to wash the sins away. And at that time we had one of our people with us, and this man went and he started to do his dasasna, and Swamiji was like, hey, after 5 you please stop. After 5 you stop, don't go all the way to 10. Everybody was like, why Swamiji? Swamiji said that the only thing holding him together is all his sin. And if he takes 10 dips and all the sins are washed away, he won't exist anymore. Swamiji had that type of humor. The sin is holding the person together. You wash the sins away, the person doesn't exist anymore. That is the cohesive element. And for many people, the stress is actually the glue that is holding them together. And you take the stress away, they don't know what to do. Because it has become so much part and parcel of their life. Where does this stress come from? Stress comes from the desire to survive at any cost. The desire to survive at any cost, abhinivesha klesha, which is part of the spinal cord brainstem primitive brain, what it does is that it triggers the perception of a threat. This threat perception is the root that then gets the whole cascade going. They call it the stress response. Everyone who knows me knows I like to call it the stress reaction, because once it starts, you have no control over it. It's like the dam has burst. You cannot, you just cannot stop it because the dam has burst. And you just have to look at how to get out of the way. The cascade of events that are called the stress response, they all start with what we call the perception of stress. You perceive something to be stressful. From that perception comes the negative emotions and thought patterns, which are part of your limbic system. The limbic system is where the hippocampus is where all the primitive memories are stored. Last time this happened, oh my God, I nearly died. Last time there was somebody who looked like this and threatened me. There was somebody who smelt like this and threatened me. The last time I was in a place that smelt like this, I nearly lost my life. All these sensory triggers, auditory, visual, gustatory, tactile, olfactory, all are sensory triggers of the stress that say, oh my God, the last time, hippocampus. And the hippocampus just has a very vague idea. And it triggers the whole stress response based on this vague idea of, oh my God, you are threatened, a threat perception. And once that happens, the poor hypothalamus that is caught in the center of this limbic whirlpool, cyclone, tornado, the hypothalamus starts to secrete all of its neuropeptides, all the neurotransmitters that are there. And once the hypothalamus gets involved, two pathways start off. One pathway through the autonomic nervous system, and the other through the neuroendocrine system. And once that comes in, the autonomic pathway, which is basically primarily sympathetic, triggers the adrenal medulla, and epinephrine, norepinephrine, adrenaline, noradrenaline, they are secreted. And the hypothalamo-pituitary adrenal axis is the more chronic, slow stress response, which is cortisol and other factors. So you have the rapid acting stress response through the medulla, adrenal medulla, and the slower acting stress response through the adrenal cortex. All of this has happened because the hypothalamus was triggered by the limbic system, which was triggered by the perception of stress. Yoga says, find the root. Heya hetu, Thana upaya, as Maharishi Patanjali advises us. Look for the problem, find the source of the problem. Find what is the remedy and apply the tools that will ensure that you remedy the situation. In Thirukural of Thiruvalluvar, it is said the same thing. Noi nadi, noi mudal nadi. Noi nadi. Noi is disease or the problem. Noi nadi. Look for the problem. Noi Mudal Nadi, look for the source of the problem. Do a root source analysis, not symptomatic analysis, but try to understand what is the root of the problem, not just the symptomology of the problem. Noi Nadi, Noi Mudal Nadi, Adu Tanikkum Vai Nadi. See what is the remedy that is there and then apply that remedy. How to remedy it, how to give relief from the stress, find the mechanisms, and then apply that mechanism. Noi Nadi, Noi Mudal Nadi, Adu Tanikkum Vai Nadi, Vaippa Cheyal. That one needs to do the same thing Patanjali tells us. Thiruvalluvar says the same thing as Patanjali. Both of them come together here. One in Sanskrit, one in Tamil. Heya hetu hana upaya. Heya. What is the problem? The problem is the stress manifesting and you're having all the issues of the stress reaction. Heya hetu. What is the cause? The perception of stress is the cause. The perception of threat. Why are you having a threat? Because you feel you are different. Heya hetu. The hetu lies within us. Hana, where do you want to go? You want to relieve that stress. You want to mitigate the causation, the causal factors, not the symptomology. Managing the symptoms through yoga is yogopathy. Yogopathy. Like allopathy, homeopathy, naturopathy, all this pati. Huh? Pati in Sanskrit means the Lord. Pashupati, Shiva, the Lord of the Pashu. This is a part of the Kashmiri Shaivism, the Saiva Siddhanta, that Tirumular, who gives us 3,000 verses, Tamil Muvayam, after 3,000 years of meditation, every year of meditation came out with one of his beautiful verses in the Tirumandiram, Tamil Muvayam. Pati, Pashu, Pasha. Pati is the Lord, the pure consciousness. The Purusha, the Ishvara. Pati. Who is the Pashu? We are the Pashu. We are the animal. The animal who is totally caught in instinctive behavior rather than in intuitive understanding. That is why the subhuman part of us is instinctive. The human part is intuitive. And what is the pasha? The attachment. Why are we attached? Because of the kleshas. What does that do? Klesha mula karmashaya. All the karma is because of the klesha. Klesha mula, the root of it is all the kleshas. That is why the kleshas are the most important root that we need to address if we want to address the whole stress reaction. This is why Patanjali was such a master psychologist, because he understood the root cause is not outside. Why are you stressed? Because of my boss. Why are you stressed? Because of my husband. Why are you stressed? Because of my wife. Why are you stressed? Because of my job. Why are you stressed? Because of corona. Why are you stressed? Because of the government. Why are you stressed? You are stressed because of your perception. You are stressed because of your perception. So what does yoga say? Change your perception. Change your perception. Move from that bound animal subhuman bondage to the freedom of the higher intuitive awareness. This is where we need to change our perception. That is what Pratipaksha Bhavanam is all about. Pratipaksha Bhavanam is all about changing our perception. Rather than letting something stress you, you say, let it make me stronger. When the stress comes in, when the stressor comes in, we have a choice. Either to let it work on what we call EU stress. It's all the stress in the European Union, I like to joke. EU stress, which means good stress. Because that is the stress that enables you to become a better you. When you work your muscles, when you work your heart, when you work your legs, when you work your thinking brain cells, you are working yourself. That workout is making you a better you. That is eustress. But then if you perceive it as a threat and a negativity and you say, oh my God, I cannot do anything about it, I'm so helpless, you go into distress, D-I-S, stress, distress. So the stressor is the same, whether you go into eustress, which is positive, or distress, which is negative, depends on your perception of it. And that is why I often repeat this statement. Nothing can stress you unless you allow it to stress you. Nothing can stress you unless you allow it to stress you. You are the master of your perceptive apparatus. You are in charge of your perceptive apparatus. And you let the stress in. As Acharya Birju Maharaj was telling, stress is an unwelcome visitor. You say, you have come in by mistake. Please go next door. This is not the address you're looking for. If the postman brings you a package that is not addressed to you, do you take it? Well, I hope not. That would be steya, stealing. If the postman gives you a package that is not addressed to you, you'll say, sorry, this is not mine. You have to go next door, you have to go to the next street, you have to go to the next town, you have to go to the next country, you have to go to the next continent, you have to go to the next planet, the next solar system, the next galaxy, the next universe. The same thing with stress. You say, this is not the right address. As Ganesha told Saturn, Indru poi nale va, and go and come tomorrow. Because tomorrow never comes. Because tomorrow is always in the future. Tomorrow, the statement tomorrow is always in the future. You say, as Ammaji says, when you have these type of issues, you say, I'll think about it tomorrow. By tomorrow, the problem has solved itself. You have a good night's sleep, the problem has solved itself. But what do? We keep on trying to think about it. The more you think about it, the more stressed you become, because the same mind which has caused the stress, you are trying to use the same mind that has caused the stress to solve the stress. Seriously. This has become the problem with our legal system, our police system, because the police who is supposed to protect people has become the offender. What do you do when the protector, they talk about the fence eating the crop? The fence eating the crop. It doesn't matter whether it is South India or whether it is North America. The same police who are supposed to protect people are the killers. Two guys had a shop open, a mobile shop open, and were killed down here by the police for having a shop open. This is the problem, that we are trying to use the same mind, the mind that is the perpetrator of the problem, we are trying to use it to solve it. And that is why through the chitta vrittis, you can never solve your problem, because they'll keep on going round and round, and that merry-go-round which will become a vicious whirlpool, and before you know it, you're at the bottom. Hence, you have to transcend the chitta vrittis. Chitta vritti nirodha is a transcendence of the chitta vrittis. They will continue to be there. You have transcended them. They are still at ground level. You have gone to floor 5. So they don't exist at floor 5. Or rather, floor 6, which is the ajna. The lower 5 floors, you have the chitta vrittis because of the senses are involved. Here you suddenly have a change. I am not saying there are not problems. What I'm saying is that instead of saying, oh my God, what can I do? And you sit there and cry the whole day, you say, there is a problem. What should I do about it? This is where Swamiji's message of do it now. Put into action what needs to be done. Somebody is suffering due to illness. Somebody has an accident. What can you do to mitigate the suffering? What can you do for it? Sitting there and crying with them doesn't solve the problem. What do? We sit with the person and we think that crying with them is going to solve the problem. You have to do something to solve the problem. பிரச்சனை இருக்கும்போது துணை கொடுக்கறது சொல்லுவாங்க, கூட போயிட்டு சும்மா நிக்கிறது இல்ல, ஏதாவது செய்யணும், பிரச்சனையை தீர்க்கிறதுக்கு ஏதாவது நம்ம செய்யணும். That is the active principle that comes in. The action is where you have to change things. You have to realize what can be done rather than what has happened. People are always focused, this has happened, this has happened, milk has spilled, milk has spilled, milk has spilled. Yeah, clean it up. Get some new milk and continue. No, milk has spilled. Look at the design it has spilled. This design tells us that Saturn has come into our house. For God's sake. Milk has spilled, clean it up, get some new milk, make some nice tea, and have a nice cuppa of chai. We are always focusing on the problem. The more you focus on the problem, the more it becomes bigger. So what can we do? Well, I'll continue over the next few days some of these ideas. But what can we do? There is a beautiful technique. I've introduced it long back for those who haven't been with me on this journey too long. Most of the videos are still there on YouTube and Facebook. They should be in Facebook for sure, because I have kept this most of the time on the same page. In the initial first few classes, I may have been, going between whether I would use my personal account or this public page. And then I realized the personal account is only seen by people who are in that less than 5,000 friend list, which I keep down at 4,000. I keep on kicking people out who I don't know, who somehow become friends on Facebook. But the other one helps people, so it's there. And then I started uploading most of them on YouTube. So I will try to set them up on YouTube a bit better so that they can be accessed. This morning, what I did was I tried to set up the playlist for Divya's Global Voices so that the 21 videos, her introduction and the 20 videos are all on that playlist. Just trying to make it easier for people to tune in if they are interested. One of the practices we did long ago was called Sukha Purvaka Pranayama. And this is a very useful practice. In this, what we are going to do is that it is the square breathing. So you breathe in, you hold in, you breathe out, you hold out. All the 4 phases of pranayama. Purvaka, Kumbhaka, Rechaka, and Shunyaka. All the 4 are going to be involved in this practice, Sukha Purvaka Pranayama. The base is Sukha Pranayama. We then have the Loma Pranayama, the Viloma Pranayama, and then it builds into the 4th component, Sukha Purvaka. So the Sukha is just in, out, equal in, out. You just Google it, Sukha Purvaka Pranayama Bhavanani, and also there's one old article I wrote on it, it should come up. Sukha is where you breathe in, breathe out. So for example, 6 counts in, 6 counts out. That is Sukha. Loma is breathe in, hold in, breathe out. Breathe in, hold in, breathe out. The triangle, downward pointing triangle. And then Viloma is breathe in, breathe out, hold out. So it's 6 in, 6 out, 6 held out. And then you have the 4th one, Sukha Purvaka, where we do breathe in 6, hold 6, breathe out 6, hold 6. Okay, so the square. So today, for saving time, we'll just do a few rounds of the final version, Sukha Purvaka. So join me. This Sukha Purvaka is very, very useful as a stress buster. It brings down the whole sympathetic drive that is there. Okay. We can use what is called the Yoga Mudra, or you could keep the hands just on the thighs if you want, the upper inner thighs, or you could put them in the Yoga Mudra where you bring the fingers and interlace them. The right side is dominant always, and place it down in the lap. This is the Yoga Mudra, the gesture of union, where the right and left peripheral energy flows are brought together in a harmonious union, an integrative state of being. Breathing out, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just relax for a few moments, contemplating a beautiful sense of balance, a stability that comes with this square shape. When we are breathing in this pattern, we are creating a mental image, a mandala of the square which is the energy of the Mooladhara related to the Prithvi, the earth element, the solid state, giving us a beautiful sense of integrity, cohesiveness, stability, and balance. A firm foundation, Dreda Bhumi, on which then we can tackle whatever we need to tackle. We will close here today. We'll continue over the next few sessions some of these concepts, building them into the concept of dealing with the stress response by evoking from within the relaxation response. It is so important, the relaxation response and the capacity to evoke it. This is where yoga and yoga therapy empower the individual. I repeat, underline, empower the individual from within. We start to understand when I'm stressed, I am not a victim of stress. I have the power. I am empowered to make a choice. Choice is the superpower of being human. And I have a choice. What is the choice? Instead of the stress response, to evoke from within the relaxation response. That is the manifestation of Pratipaksha Bhavanam, developing the contrary attitude with an inner conviction. That is what yoga is all about. Have a wonderful day wherever you are. we'll continue these sessions going on to the relaxation response. And that is the key of being the best us that we can be. May you all be blessed. Have a wonderful day.